Back to Black, the newest biopic. Let's talk about it. Back to Black is the newest biopic that is all about Amy Winehouse. This is all about her rise in fame, her rise through the music industry, and then the unfortunate tragedy that then followed all that at the age of 27, where she passed away tragically. Now, biopics are an interesting genre for me because I don't like biopics, but I actually like them after I've watched them. For instance, Rocket Man. Really enjoy Rocket Man. Really like that one. The Elvis one, I enjoyed as well. Even though it's a tad too long, I enjoyed that one. You know, so I've enjoyed these biopics. I've gone in there going, oh, it's not for me. Come out and going, you know what? Pleasant surprise. Enjoyed it. Amy Winehouse, I'm not a huge fan of her music. I don't say that she doesn't have talent. She does have talent. Clearly she does. Otherwise, you don't just win a Grammy if you don't have talent. Like, let's just be real. So this is a movie that was already not probably targeted to me. So if you're an Amy Winehouse fan, I think you're going to enjoy this and get a lot more out of it than, say, me, who is not a big fan of that. But as for the movie itself, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. This isn't one where I walked out and I was like, oh, that was incredible thing. It's very dark. This, to begin with. Her life is not a happy life. Like, there is a lot of tragic that happens in her life, a lot of dark moments, a lot of drug use, a lot of alcoholism as well, which is the big major factor to her tragically passing away, is the alcohol, trying to get away from that and then coming back to it and it tearing, you know, her life away, which happens to a lot of people in society. Alcohol is something that does, you know, you always go, oh, I'm just gonna have a little sip here and there. And then one sip turns into two. Two sips then turns into a bottle. One bottle turns into two. And then two bottles turns into a six-pack. A six-pack then turns into a carton. And, you know, just continue on and it spirals out of control. That is what this story is about. It's about her and how it was never about her becoming famous. And that is the theme that runs through this movie. One of the themes is she was never in it for the money and she was never in it for the fame. She genuinely loved singing and wanted to bring that talent, bring her gift to the world. And she really wanted to be a mother. She really wanted to be loved. And the main thing that happens in her life is the relationship she has with Blake. And that is really everything about her life revolves around this guy named Blake and the tragic stuff that happens between them. Now, it's a story that I think a lot of Amy Winehouse fans know. I obviously didn't know about that because I'm not well versed in her story, so I didn't know about that. But when you bring that to the screen, you see that they kind of were toxic together. Like they were. Blake was right in a way where it's like together they don't mesh because they're just so toxic and they try to one up each other. Like, I can do more of this, more of this. I can F up my life more than you can. So you see that. So I you know what? I like how they portrayed her life and gave you the ins and outs of how dark a life like this can be. Like, you just see famous people and you think their life is perfect. You see it on Instagram, you see it on Twitter, you see it everywhere. You're like, their life's perfect. Look at them, man. They're on the beach. They're doing this. But it's the behind the scenes, the stuff that you don't see behind, that is actually not always this bright picture that you see. There are dark times in there. And that's what we do. We follow Amy through her rise and then her dark patches as well. So, and like, you know, obviously the big thing is her nan is like this, it's like her North Star, is the one that's guiding her through life. And once she goes, then it's like Amy's in a free-for-all. She's fallen from the sky now. It's all every man for themselves. She's trying to navigate through this. So I like how they told that story, and the performance was good. I really enjoyed the performance. I thought she brought Amy to life and played her really, really well. She moved like her when she was singing and that, and I was like, you know what? This does feel like it's her. This does. So there's that. Now, the biggest issue I have with this film, and it's a big issue, is the pacing of the film. It's a 2-hour long movie. This felt longer than Dune Part 2. This felt like I was watching 3 hours, 4 hours. Like, this just dragged on. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to lose interest here because I feel like this could have been wrapped up earlier. But it kept going and going. Scenes kept getting dragged out. I get it. They want to put in the songs of Amy and that. They want to try and, you know, tell as much of the story as they can because it is obviously a long story. It's not just, you know, a week's worth of life. It is a long period. But I just don't think they executed the pacing of the film because it slows down. It is very much a slow burn. And you're just sitting there and you're dragging yourself through each scene and you're getting there. And it does become painful towards the end because you're just waiting. Especially biopics are very interesting because you know the outcome of them. Like that's the thing. We already knew the outcome of her, so we're already sitting there waiting. Especially in the last 30 minutes of film, you're sitting there waiting because you know what's coming, and you're like, okay, are we getting there? What's going on here? Like, are we just, you know, dawdling here? But I get it. They're trying to convey her emotions to us so that we can understand what she's going through this moment with Blake and that. So, you know, I get why they did it. And like I said, I think fans of Amy Winehouse are going to really enjoy this. And that's great. And I will celebrate that for them. For me personally, between the pacing issue and not being the biggest fan of her music and that, I just felt like I couldn't really connect with it and really enjoy it to the degree that I think the fans are, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's just the nature of film, and that's just the nature of the story that they're telling here with it. And look, I will say it has some good messages about, you know, what drugs and alcohol do to people, especially young people. And when you get a little bit of fame or a little bit of money or something like that, you know, you had that little taste there. You're like, I'll just try it. And then it spirals out of control. And so I feel like this is a good movie to get the message out of. It's sometimes you've got to listen to other people and take on their advice because there's a thing that happens in this movie between a character that's telling Amy that she needs to go to rehab, like you need to go to rehab, and he saw this coming. He saw the spiral coming out of control, and that he tried to tell her. Amy's like, I don't need to listen to you. I'm firing you. I'm getting someone else. So sometimes when people are telling you things, it's for your own good. It's to help you. It's not to drag you down or anything like that. So look, it's got good messaging in it. It's got pacing issues which I did not like, and some of the editing I was kind of like, okay. But overall, it's an okay film for me. But like I said, I'm probably not the target audience for it. So let me know what you guys, especially you fans of Amy Winehouse, maybe you guys enjoyed it, maybe you loved it, and that's awesome. I'll celebrate that for you guys. Glad that you had that type of movie. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.